Now, for people who want to know what uncensored is, uncensored is my way of showing people that even if a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any type of disabilities or learning disabilities. That you should never give up or have people label you. And you should prove to them you can still amount to something. And it's about never giving up and proving people wrong, and that's my motto.
Yes, and that's the best motto to have. I feel wholeheartedly the same.
It's half-hour, 45-minute conversation, and you can say anything you want, curse if you want to. This is your time. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
Sure. I'm Sonja Fisher, and I'm originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I live in California now. I came here to pursue my dreams. I work in the computer science field. I have a technical degree. Math and statistics is my bachelor's, and then I have an MBA and a doctorate in business. So talk about trying to achieve your dream. I always wanted to have a doctorate, so I accomplished that a couple years ago. And I've been successfully working in the computer science information technology world for over about 21 years now. I'm dating myself about how old I am. But I moved to California with the job that I had in corporate America. But then my dream since I was 10 was always to pursue the entertainment industry, not only be an actress and model and host, but help influence other people who might have not been, had the time or the energy or didn't think that they could actually make their dreams come true. And I want to inspire other people to not only be leaders in business and technology, but also to be leaders in the arts and entertainment. And I want them to go for everything that they want in their dreams and don't let anybody stop them and say that they can't.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Now, you bring up a good subject with computers. Do you know, do you do software, or what type of work do you do with a computer?
Yeah, I'm actually a pre-sales engineer. I have been for quite some time. I'm also a consultant. And what I focus on is business intelligence and data warehousing and big data. You probably heard the term big data out there. I help companies analyze their information from a reporting perspective to get answers to what they're looking for. To make their company more, not only more marketable, but also competitive in the industry. So like, say you want to know how many sales you've done this year versus last year, and what's the hot product selling, and what your consumers doing, similar to the Infinity programs that are out there today, as far as setting up for points and those types of things. That's just one example or one use case that I work around, but I work in all different areas, financial, entertainment space, retail, lots of different areas.
All right, well, for a perfect example, like for my talk show, would that fall under the category of what you do?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Like for an example, my talk show, would that fall under the category of what you do?
Yeah, I mean, it could. It depends on if you wanted to get statistics and analyze the guests that have been on your show. Like, what is the demographic of, everyone who's been on your show? Versus male versus female versus age versus, those types of things. You can find out those kinds of statistics. Big data is also really prominent in sports, as well as, entertainment with your show. It could be, getting statistics based on, like football, for instance, is one of my favorite sports. Getting statistics based off of, like, how many touchdowns have happened, how many Super Bowls has a team won, and finding all those different details out. What's the best running back out there, those types of things.
Well, if you're interested, I would love to talk to you about it after the show.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
And now the next question, now it's going to ask you a lot of easy questions and then a lot of hard-hitting questions, and then I'll pass the show over to you and you can ask me anything.
Okay.
But then the easy ones is, so when you were in college, were you a study nerd or party animal? And did you ever do any sports to a point where you want to be like a professional, or did you just do it for fun?
I actually was a study nerd. To be honest with you, I'm a little bit different now, but I have an aptitude. I love to learn, and I love to be enhanced about all different new topics in the world, because I think you can never stop learning. You can always keep growing as a person. And so I was always enthralled with books and magazines and reading and fact, I read so many magazines and so many books that you probably wouldn't believe it. But I'm always about knowledge. So I was kind of centered more on that than the party girl. And then I worked really, really hard too. I worked 70 hours a week and went to school full time. So to get my degree. And like I said, if people think that you can't accomplish certain things because of financial reasons, that's not necessarily true. You just have to work really, really hard. And I know it gets really, really hard sometimes. I was sleeping 3-4 hours a night, but I made my dreams happen. And it's made my life easier now because I've been able to get those degrees. So I would definitely say a study geek. As far as sports, I was involved in quite a few sports. I was involved in gymnastics as really young, and then I dislocated my knee, so that took me out of the running for gymnastics. But my goal was to be an Olympic gymnast, and unfortunately that didn't happen. But then I got into tennis, and I also got into running. And tennis I did pursue professionally for a while. And I was a USTA rated 4.0, 4.5 player, but I just physically the body wasn't upholding with me. So I switched to running, which I know people are like, well, how does running work? But I've been a marathon runner now, and my goal is to do all 50 states, full marathon, 26.2 miles. And so far I've done 11 states, and my goal is to accomplish that in the next 10 years to finish off the other ones. So you can definitely find what works, for your body, and develop a dream around that or a goal around that, and go for it. So, but I've always loved sports. Absolutely love sports.
Well, you can run laps around me. I suck at running.
I'm not fast, but I get the job done. I get to the end, and that's all that matters. So I make sure that I get the marathons that have a little bit more lenience, to do it. And it's such an amazing feeling when you cross the finish line. It really is. And speaking of disabilities, you see so many people in marathons with disabilities, and it is just so inspiring to see them. And it's like, what's wrong with me? I can do this. I know I can totally do it. When I see people who have one leg or, are in a wheelchair or, and they're crossing the finish line, and I'm like, okay, I am going to suck this up. I'm going to finish because I've got 2 legs. I've got all of the advantages here, and these people are inspiring me, and they're able to do it, with half the, aptitude that, physically onset, right, the disability has been given to them, and they're still doing it. They're out there doing it. And the first marathon I did, I just caught the fever because of that. And I actually start crying when I cross the finish line. It sounds retarded, but I do. I just get so emotional.
Not a problem. But you brought up 2 good subjects. Well, a good subject, but before we get to that, and I'm going back to actually the easy question before we get to hard-hitting one, you mentioned you did gymnastics, and you were a gymnast. Gymnast is not a sport. Don't mind me. I just went over my head. But did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or not a human pyramid girl?
No, I never did really the human pyramid. They do that more in like cheerleading, and I never went down that route. But I did do balance beam and vault, and those are very challenging within the gymnastic space. My favorite was floor exercise, though. But there's many a times that to this day, I think, what was I thinking? I would just do these aerial cartwheels, and I'd land on my knees, and then I'd have to try to get back up and do it again. And I'd actually hear them crunch, when I'd land on them, and I'd just get up and do it again. And as a kid, you're fearless, You're just like, I'm going to do this no matter what. But gymnastics is really fun. It's very challenging, and I really admire the people who can do it.
Yeah, I love the whole human pyramid thing. I know, I'm a loser.
No, I think it's cool. I've just never done it. I love watching that kind of gymnastics. Like, have you ever seen America's Got Talent? I absolutely love that show. It's like my favorite show. And they have some amazing gymnasts on that show. Like, they just had one act the other day. It was very, very impressive.
What about, have you watched the British Got Talent?
British Got Talent. I have seen just clips of it, and I'm just inspired. Now, talk about inspiration. Most people give up when they're, like, older.
Right.
And I just seen an episode of America's Got Talent, and this girl is 96. I am not kidding you. And she went on the show to be a dancer. And her partner was was in his 20s, and she just showed up and started dancing with him. And so they started her audition, and she starts dancing, and they show like how they edit it, people yawning in the audience or whatever, because you're expecting from a 96-year-old that's going to be pretty slow and that kind of thing, because they're getting older, but it's still very inspirational that they're doing it at that age. Well, then all of a sudden the music kicks into gear, and she's being whipped around just like a 20-year-old. He's like tossing her above him, and everything they do on Dancing with the Stars. I was so impressed. Talk about inspiration. I mean, you can do anything at any age.
It's just a number. It doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. It's all in your mind,
Now, the next question you brought up was people with disabilities. I usually dance around that because, I'm very sensitive, but, what the hell, let's just talk about it. When you mentioned people with one arm, with one leg, doing these amazing things, and I'm going to go on a record saying they're a much stronger person, but they're a much stronger person than I would ever be, because I would look for the easy way out. I always said if I always missed an arm, missed a leg, blind, deaf, or in a wheelchair, I'd probably kill myself.
Oh, that's not good.
But, you see all these people that are inspirations, like saying, hey, if they can do it, like you said, suck it up, and if they can do it, you can do it. But I'm very sensitive around that stuff. I know I'm a wussy. But like I said,
I was super inspired because I was watching Dancing with the Stars over the last year, and Amy Purdy was on there, and she's amazing. She has no legs, and the girl's out there dancing, and she's skiing, and it's so impressive. And then they had another guy who recently was on the show this last season, was in a bomb attack and lost his left arm, I think, and his left leg, and he was doing the same thing on Dancing with the Stars. It was like amazing, spinning girls around, and to me, it's like it does take an inner strength, and it's not only like what you talked about, the age, about it being mental, but it's also about finding that inner strength, because many of them wanted to give up, but they didn't. They kept striving forward. And that's what's so important, not only if you have a disability, but also just in pursuing your dreams in general. Because you just don't know how close you are, right? And you might just give up too early. There's this great cartoon that I see about this guy who's trying to chip through a wall. And it shows that if he gives up too early, he's like maybe an inch away from his dream, and he doesn't even realize it. So it's like you got to keep going until you chip through, and that's all what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think at a young age that it was pushed on me. That's why it's kind of like trying to find the words for it. I don't mean to come off like an asshole. I'm just saying it's just when it comes to being around people with disabilities, I kind of, I guess you say, reflecting yourself on them, that you can see this happen in me. But I know that sounds horrible, but I don't know, make it easier. I'm very sensitive when it comes to that.
Well, I think you're an inspiration, just for having this show.
I'm no prize myself, but
but I think it's great. It shows that you can do whatever you want, and you enjoy doing this. So, but that's definitely an awesome goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the subject, it doesn't matter. I used to say in the very beginning, I got made fun of it, so I had to change my saying. Excuse me. I had to change my catchphrase. When I first started, and if you go to season 2 and back, I used to say turn myself into a perfect example for people out there deaf, blind, or in a wheelchair. And I said that for people for about 100 episodes, and finally my family said, you need to change something. You sound like a hypocrite. What do you mean? 1, you're not deaf. 2, you're not blind. And 3, you're not in a freaking wheelchair. So how are you a perfect example for people like that? So I had to do my other introduction. I had to come back out and introduce myself to people, because I did my introduction video where I would come out and say my name is blah blah blah. So I had to take that down, redo it, and now I say, doesn't matter if you have a learning disability or disabilities, that you should prove to people you can send out something. But
Exactly.
but I went to Ulcer Bosse's, and I was at school for people with special needs. Don't ask me why I was there. My parents said it's either go there or go to camp. And I was like, well, I don't want to go to sleepaway camp. And I suck it up and go to this into the school. And I was, don't ask me why, but I was going there until I was 18 because like, oh well, he's old enough, but he's been coming here since he was 4, so we know him, and we're not gonna argue about it. So, but I've been around, blind people, deaf people, and I am trying to find a word without people thinking I'm an asshole or anything. I admire them. I can't imagine myself being like that because I would look for the easy way out. But these people to me are real inspirations because they have lives 10 times harder than I am. And look at what they accomplished. So look at what they're able to do. That's why I say they're a more stronger person than I am because I look for the easy ways and I just say I wouldn't handle that. I know that sounds horrible, but I guess it depends on how you're raised and how it's inflicted.
Well, yeah, each person's different too, and it's just all how you, like you said, your background and how you're raised and how you've been influenced, and but it's to me, it's like it's always looking at trying to look at things with rose-colored glasses because everybody is faced with some challenge in life, and it's just what you do with that challenge that makes you who you are. And get you to where you want to be. Because everyone has their own personal journey, right? And we don't know. You could be walking down the street and that person has breast cancer and you have no idea. Or this person has lupus and has no idea. This person, you might know someone that's blind because it's more physical. But everybody is contending with something in life. And it's all about their journey, right? And what they do with that and how they affect other people.
Yeah, absolutely. But while on the subject, I don't want you or our listeners to think I'm an asshole or anything. It's just I'm just
no, you're not an asshole.
just saying very sensitive when it comes to that stuff. But now we talked about our hidden subject, I'm gonna pass the show over to you, and this is your time after all. Is there any subjects you would like to talk about? Anything you like to ask me? This is your time after all.
Sure. Well, I'm really excited. I wanted just to tell your fan base about some projects that I'm working on, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I just got cast for a lead role in a pilot that's coming out. It's called Transhuman, and it's TRANSHUMAN. And you can go on Facebook and like the project. It would be great. We're kind of in a Kickstarter campaign now. We're just trying to raise money, investment. We're in pre-production. And I'm really excited about the project. I think it's something different, and it kind of lends to what we're talking about. And the reason why is the kind of the premise of the show is that people who might have a disability or are sick or whatever can take this magic juice, or serum, which is going to allow them to not only live longer, but not have these difficulties and these problems. And then it's what's all the political ramifications from doing this, right? Like, is there side effects and those types of things? And this whole project is about that. It's like a sci-fi show. And it's really, really exciting. And we're hoping to get picked up on one of the major networks. So I'm excited about that project. And then the second project that I'm working on right now is I'm running for Miss Woman United States in Las Vegas at the end of July, and I'm representing the state of Minnesota. Even though I live in California, I decided to represent the state I was originally from. And my platform is on inspiring women and specifically the arts and technology into leadership roles. And I'm really excited about that because women are so underrepresented at higher levels in both areas, specifically in information technology, which is where I am. It's very, very small percentage, that get leadership roles. I think only 5% of women are CEOs nationwide. And then in addition to that, in the arts, there's very few directors and producers as well that are women, specifically on the lines of the directors area. And women only get like 17% of all parts in films and TV, and most of the time they're depicted as. So I'm here to change that. It's time. It's time to change that, and to give women more stronger roles, which I'm starting to see a little bit on TV with Scandal and some of the other big shows that are out there today. So those are the two big things that I'm working on. And then if you go to the Miss United States .com website, you can vote for me for the People's Choice Award. I would really appreciate that too. But those are the two big things I'm working on. I have a lot of little projects too, and then of course my career in the technology world. But those are the two things that I wanted to get across for sure to your audience.
Yeah, not a problem, Mike. So this is your time after all, so whatever you want to talk about. And while on the subject, are you on Facebook's any social media formats where your fans can follow you?
Yes, I'm on Facebook. You can catch me there. Just type in my name, Sonja Fisher. I have a fan page that you can like. My friend page is pretty full up now. I wish the Facebook would extend the amount that you can have on there as far as friends. So definitely follow me and like me on my fan page. I also am on all the other types of social media. Twitter, my handle is SOFisher, and that's SOFISHER. And to find me on Facebook, it's Sonja, SONJA, and then Fisher, FISHER. And then you can also, besides there, I'm also on LinkedIn, and that's where I have more of my technology background profile that you can check out. And again, just look me up under Sonja Fisher. And you can also check me out on IMDb. That's where I have all my credits, and go check out my site, and you can find out more about me. And lastly, I have my website, which is www.sonjafisher.com, SONJAFISHER.com.
And you're also on Stage 32, right?
Yes, and I'm on Stage 32. That's how we met. Yeah, that's great. I love that website. It's awesome. I just posted on there. Did you do that? It's the introductory weekend this weekend. You can put your name and advertise your show and everything out there right now.
I've been, but no one's been answering.
Oh. I love Stage 32. I think it's a great new. For those of you that don't know what it is, it's kind of like a platform like Facebook, but for people in the arts and entertainment industry.
Yeah, while we're on the subject of platforms, LinkedIn, and that's how I got most of my interviews. Now they're getting cute, saying, "Oh, you've been adding too many people. You've been going over the 500 mark. Now we're gonna limit your access." And now it's like, so I removed everyone from my list because I had just a lot of random people. Now I'm trying to re-add people, and I have to re-add you too. Yeah, I'm trying to re-add. So okay, not gonna add complete strangers. I'm just going to add people that I know. And now people are like, yeah, but we don't really do that anymore. We don't really use LinkedIn. I'm like, why did I touch it in the first place?
Yeah, that's a challenge with Facebook too, because they max out at 5,000, and I think I'm like so close. It's like 30 people out or something, and so I'm gonna have to do the same thing, because when you start meeting people, you want to be able to add them, especially in your network that you're working with and those types of things. So yeah, it's hard because you don't want to like offend anybody, but if it's like someone that you're not normally staying in touch with or you don't know that well, you'd rather, have someone on there that you do,
That's true. And now we're going back to, if you're curious about all how I started my show, I can tell you all about it.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that. I was going to ask you about your show and what your goals are and, where you want to see it evolve to. And, if I can help in any way to promote it too, I will.
Oh, we can always talk about it after the show. But I asked you the easy ones first. I would like to become famous. I would like to get... I know it sounds like an oxymoron. Everyone wants to become famous, but I do want to be known. I do want to get my own talk show out of it. And I don't ask me why, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. I started back in 2013, and I did 72 phone interviews.
Wow, that's a lot.
I interviewed people from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, from Dragon Ball Z, to Spider-Man, to just teasers, voiceovers, actors. And I do this because I have social anxiety, I have panic attacks, and it's just like therapy for myself, how to interact with people. And we can get to that in a little bit. But and screw it, I just can't jump into it. Basically, if you compare me now back in high school, if we met back in high school, I wouldn't have walked up to you because I have a fear of being rejected and everything.
Me
I
too.
I used to work over at the North Face, and I used to have the reason to walk up to people and be like, "Hey, my name is Keith. Blah blah blah. If you need anything, let me know." Yeah, I never used to say my name's Keith. I used to hesitate. I used to show my badge, and that gave me a reason to walk up to people. But after I left in that place, I still built up. I built up a hesitation, and I like now that I'm doing my talk show, I have a reason to go up to people and introduce myself. It gives me I don't know, not like an excuse to walk up to someone. Now I have like a reason to talk to people. But I don't know, it's a learning experience. But half of the people I interviewed, like Kerrigan Mayhem, Ron Reisman, and they all do voiceovers. And I became friends with them. Like I said, half of the people I talked to the first time, we became friends, like you and me. And there's the other half, like, yeah, I know you asked me for your friendship, but I thought you were only joking, or I only did the interview with you because I thought I would get something out of it, or you would be picking me, or you would be helping my career. And it's like, yeah, once was enough. And it's like, I told them the truth. It's because people ask me, what's your demographics, what is your audience, what is this, what is that, why don't you have sponsors, wink wink, why aren't you as bigger than you portray yourself to be. So I did it over in a video format. So all those 72 people that I interviewed the first time, half I became friends with, and they were nice enough to help me do it the second time. Everyone from the first time said, yeah, once was enough, or you misled me, or it wasn't what I was expecting. And I said, well, those are my demos. These are my demos. I thought, okay, I should have told you that these were my demos, but these were my demo episodes. Yeah, well, it's like, hey, it's not my karma. I admit I should have been upfront with you, and I apologize, but they just said once was enough. It's like, okay, whatever. Even 2 years later, I tried to extend my hand to them in friendship, saying, hey, we did a demo 2 years ago. Would you like to do it again? They're like, no, I don't want to be on the talk show. It's not going to help me, or you have to pay me. And it's kind of, it's ridiculous. And I don't mean to bitch to you. I apologize.
No. I mean, it is. But some people just have different perceptions of things, and So sometimes I think it's hard to make everyone happy, right? It's like you got to do your own thing, and just what people do is what they do. I'm serious. It's like you can't make everybody happy, no matter how hard you try.
I give you a perfect example when I do my show over, and mostly people say I want my interview private, and it didn't bother me in the beginning. And when I was starting to talk to other people, and it's like, why do they want their interview private? And because I was thinking about eventually, selling my interviews, saying, hey, I want to go to Comic-Con, and I want to hand out my interview. I'm working on a photo book. Like, here's the book of everyone that, well, I use you for a perfect example, if you're okay with it. And I can use your pictures. Like, here's my picture book. I see your picture. You're on Keith's talk show. Can I please get your autograph? Now, it's good for me. It's good for you. So I have the picture book, and now I will do my DVDs of all my episodes, and I can hand them out. And by the way, this is completely free. I'm not gonna charge people. Well, maybe $1. But either or $1, or it's gotta be free. But I want to have a reason to go to Comic-Con, get my own booth, interact with people. And I was noticing, how this goes back to where I was saying how the interviews are private. And it's like, okay, now it's been like a month or so, 2 months or whatever. Can I turn this interview from private to public? Because the whole point of it was you were going to help me support my cause. Yeah, I was supposed to do it at the time, but I'm embarrassed. Okay, are you embarrassed that of me, or are you embarrassed of the questions I ask? Because I can always edit it. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I was just embarrassed of the whole thing because you misled me, and it's like, how am I misleading you? I do have a learning disability, and it's, yeah, well, maybe if you pay me, maybe I can look you up. And so, okay, you know what? So I deleted to 6 of them. So there was one girl who was a complete nut job. Uh, the next thing you know, 6 other people came out of woodwork. I'm like, why did you do the interview in the first place if you are just going to say you're embarrassed to me and you're embarrassed to tell doing it? So, YouTube are a perfect example. Are you embarrassed to me? Or what made you say yes to be on my talk show? Which YouTube are a perfect example?
I thought you have like a really inspirational talk show. Like I really like the concept and the idea. I think it's great, and if I can support you, I will. You know, I'm all about networking and helping other people, and that kind of thing. It's not like what's in it for you. It's like you got to help other people out too. And I'm all about that. I've been about that my whole career. I meet actresses all the time, that aren't as far as me, and they ask me questions, or other actors, Then I'll be like, oh, this is what I did. This is what worked for me. You can try it. These are some suggestions that I have. And I take time out of my day. I probably spend like an hour to 2 hours a day helping other people, because I think that's important. I think in order for you, and then to get ahead, in a way, you have to also help other people get ahead. You know what I mean? Like, it's like pay it forward, right? And I've been all about that my whole life, and I think that's really important. And the people you want to work with, right? That
Right.
support others and lift each other up through different experiences. And I think that's what's really important.
That's true, but you're not embarrassed of being on my talk show, and this is helping you because
No.
it's a good cause you're doing, and also it's gonna benefit you eventually, not right away. But they're gonna say, "Hey, you helped this special ed kid with the show. Keep up the good work," and it's stuff like that. But it's just saying, "Yeah, you didn't pay me," or "You did." Here's a funny thing. They said, we did our interview because I thought I would get 100 hits. Well, you can't. People hit, I just slap myself in the head. But it's like, you can't get 100 hits if your video is private. Oh, yeah, but I don't want people to see me like that. Okay, why are you on my show? And it's like, you're in the bubble. You're like the Bill Maher thing. You're in the bubble. And it's like, like I said, you can't please everyone. I don't mean to bitch to you. Anyway.
Yeah, it's true though. You can't please everyone. You got to do your own thing. And like I said, it's just all about how you treat others. And that's the other thing. Getting to that is you don't know in life like who is gonna be somewhere important either at that specific point in time or in the future, right? So I'm all about treating everyone with equal respect, whether you have a disability, whether you don't have a disability, whether you're a secretary versus working the corporate America job, CEO. You're all equal because you're all human, right? Even stars, they're all human. It's like, and I feel it's important on the way up you treat everybody the same, because you don't, on the way down, those people who didn't treat people nice, they're not going to protect you on the way down. You know what I mean? And plus, I just love helping people. That's the biggest thing in my life, and that's what my whole platform is about: is inspiring women, to dream their dreams, go for them, and not be stopped by people. Because I've been told, I don't necessarily have like a straight disability, but I've been told in my life, just because of my gender, that I'd never make it, especially in the technology world, because I was a woman. I was told that to my face from professors, and I'm like, no, that's not going to happen, and I'm going to prove you wrong. And not only did I prove them wrong, but I won a huge award. I was like one of 1,000 students that got this award at the University of Minnesota when I graduated, for being the most well-rounded student, not only study-wise, but also community-wise, and helping individuals. I formed a sorority for technical women, because there was no support system. I co-founded it with a bunch of girls, and it's called Alpha Sigma Kappa Women in Technical Studies, and now we have 8 chapters worldwide. And so I'm all about giving people opportunity that doesn't exist right now for them, but if it's going to help them, whether it's creating an organization or propelling them forward by giving them the right network or the person to connect to, I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can say, in a way, that what I'm doing, I'm kind of creating that same opportunity for people with disabilities.
Yes, you are. And that's why I said I would love to be a part of your show, because it's very inspirational, and I think it's really good what you're doing.
That's right, I appreciate it. But like I said, I do everything myself. I edit it, I promote it, but I would love to work with you, and right now we talked about it, but after this show we can talk about the ideas if you're still okay with it. But like I said, I do everything myself, even if we're learning disability, so it is kind of like, a lot of people say to me, yeah, it's like, well, I was on your show, where's your disability? It's like years of practice. Yep, just leave it at that. Just years of practice. Oh, what do you mean? Talk to my family about it. They can explain it more to you, because I do my best to bury stuff in the past. I'll give you a perfect example. When I do something stupid, I do my best to forget about it right there and then. Yes, I think about it for a day. Next day, oh, that's a while ago. It was just yesterday. That was a while ago. I don't linger on stuff like that. And you shouldn't. It's just negativity. You just want positivity and everything.
Exactly. And you're going to have, parts where you fall or things don't go the way you want them to go, but that only makes you a stronger person. And like you said, like I said before, it's all how you handle things, right? And you can turn it around to a positive. It's basically your answer to the response to that physical thing that happens or that event that happens to you, and how you turn that around.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, wrapping up, do you have any funny stories you like to share, or any funny pranks or words of wisdom?
Yeah, I can tell you a funny prank. My boyfriend will kill me though, but I think it's funny. It was hilarious because we just started dating, and we've been together now 5 years. He's the most amazing man in the entire world, and he's a singer, by the way. And he's got 2 bands, and he's actually got 2 records out. Just a real shameless plug, real quick. He has a band called Heliopolis, and also a band called Box of Shamans. You can check him out at 10trecords.com. It's a progressive rock band. He's the lead singer. He's really good. Anyways, we met about 5 years ago online, and it was so much fun. When we first started dating, and his big thing was he didn't want a smoker because his mom had smoked and everything, and his dad for a while. And he said, I won't date anyone that smokes. So what I ended up doing was, I think we were about a month into dating, 2 months into dating. I decided my cousin had come out, and we decided to get those candy cigarettes. And we staged this whole thing in a hot tub, at my apartment. And we made it look like we were smoking, plus, drinking. And it was hysterical, because we just had, like Kool-Aid in our glasses, and we had, candy cigarettes. And we're sitting, around the hot tub, and we're pretending to smoke. And he comes around the corner, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "What? Don't you smoke when you drink?" And he gets super, super mad, inflamed mad. He wants to not go out anymore. I could totally tell. So I go and get him, and I try to give him a kiss, and he tries to ignore me, because he didn't want anything to do with smoking. So he gets back, we're in the hot tub, and he's standing there, because I had to go get him outside the fence. Brought him in, and he's standing there. You could just tell he's fuming. And so I'm still playing it up a little. So I turned to him and I said, "Oh, relax." And then I bit into the cigarette, the candy cigarette, and I started chewing it. And he goes, "Aha, you're so funny." And then it was hilarious because some people in the apartment actually came down into the hot tub, and they noticed that we were smoking, and they thought we were really smoking, but we weren't. It was candy cigarettes. So they go and tell the apartment. So the next day, they put this big sign up, "No smoking in the hot tub." So that's probably my best practical joke I've ever played on anybody.